Hello, welcome back to the channel. Having gone further in the FA Cup than we ever have done to date in this series, today can we go a step further? Hello, it's a very warm welcome to episode 97 of From the Bottom to the Top, as we try and take a National League South side, in this case Weymouth, from the bottom all the way up to the top. And this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. It's an FA Cup fourth round tie against Charlton Athletic at the Valley. If we can win that, we go further than we ever have been before, albeit we are already further than we've ever been before in the FA Cup. And then we play Lincoln City at the Bob Lucus in League One, match day 32, as we want to keep up the pressure at the top of the tables. We look for another automatic promotion. Can we succeed? We'll find out, and the steps that we can take today if we can do that. Don't forget, if you do enjoy today's episode, in fact you've enjoyed the series, then leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes. And of course, you can leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the series. Let me know what you'd like to see me do more of here on the channel. Everything helps me on YouTube, and a big thank you to all those that have subscribed to date, and are much appreciated on this channel. Thank you very much. Of course, you can follow everything, keep up to date with everything that goes on, simply by following me on X at JustOffsideFM. Right, let's get into it. We've played a couple of games since you were last with us in the league. We've extended our unbeaten run. I think it's 17 games in all competitions, 14 games in the league, in League One. So going rather well. Last time you were with us, beat Birmingham 3-1, 6-pointer, opened a little bit of a gap, but then we only managed to draw to Rotherham 1-1 near the bottom, of course, which meant that Birmingham did close the gap a little bit again. But we have had two wins, and the first win was against Wigan Athletic. Angemang from the penalty spot. Scott Walden, an equaliser after 37. Jebison, the winner after 77. And that all with Amika Peters, once again, missing a penalty. Find out how the penalty came about. Whittingham with a corner. It's headed clear back to Whittingham. Whittingham to Palfrey on the edge of the area. Smith brings him down. And that's how the penalty came about. And it was Angemang putting it away on 35. Angemang steps up, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and it's 1-0 on 35 minutes. 2 minutes later, Scott Walden got the equaliser. Smith with a corner. Short one to Walden. Back to Smith. Walden drives it low and hard and beats Yale Virginia for their only shot on target, I have to say. So 1-1 at half time. And then we had an injury to Lependa on 52. This ball cleared by Roberts. Lependa goes chasing after it and then pulls something as he tries to get that ball. Nobody tackled or anything else. It wasn't in the tackle, but Lependa picking up that injury. Unfortunately, we'll check in on him in just a moment. Mika Peters then, 5 minutes later, missed a penalty for us to take a 2-1 lead. Peters, who has a reputation for missing penalties, and once again he hit this hard and actually crashes it off the crossbar. Bishop gratefully receives it. So it remained 1-1 until the 77th minute, when Daniel Jebison, who'd come on 65, got the winner. Palfrey with the ball out, loses the ball but wins it back. Grady Macken through to Jebison. Jebison with the finest of touches so that he could get clear of the defence, puts it past Bishop. 2-1, and we no more than we deserved, really. We should have had more. 22 shots, 4 of which are on target. We had an XG of 4.12. Should have scored 4 goals. That's a bit worrying when we only scored 2. 60% of the possession. Wigan having 4 shots, just that one on target that they scored. and 40% of the possession. Then we went into the match against Peterborough. Always difficult, and especially away from home. We've lost to them once this season, only beat them narrowly in the reverse game at the Bob Lucas 3-2 on that occasion. I think it was Travis Patterson getting the winner on 59. But on this occasion, we had to go a whole match with the lead because Jake Grante scored for us just a minute in. It's Linton with the corner, fired in, and Grante getting up and bullet heading that into the back of the net. 1-0 then, and it stayed pretty much like that all game, despite Peterborough best efforts. They only had 2 on target, and they had their best chance of the game on 89 minutes. Garrett steps up to take this penalty, and it was a soft penalty. Yale Virginia falling on it, and he made it safe, and we saw the game out for a 1-0 win. 8 shots, 5 on target, very good. 0.85. The XG wasn't there like the other game. 68% of the possession. I think that's what won us the game, really. They had 8 shots, 2 on target, 1.37. Should have scored 32% of the possession, and that leaves the table at this stage of the proceedings looking very much like this. We are top, 9 points clear Birmingham, albeit they do have a game in hand over us. Oxford United are in third on 55. They have 2 games in hand over us. And then come Derby County, Notts County, both on 53, albeit Derby do have a game in hand. And Shrewsbury, the last team in the playoff places, on 50 points. Reading just outside on 48. They have 2 games in hand over us, though. But that's quite a gap at the moment. I mean, we're talking, 22 points down to Reading. So I think we're reasonably comfortable that at the moment we can secure a playoff place as a bare minimum. Rotherham, Burton, Chesterfield and Leyton Orient still in the drop zone. Rotherham 4 points adrift of Mansfield at the bottom of the table. Burton Albion a further 3 points adrift of them, and Chesterfield 3 points adrift of them, and Leyton Orient 4 points adrift, completely at the bottom, and some 14 points adrift of safety. Looks like Leyton Orient could be going down into League 2. Our opponents today, Lincoln City, in the league game, as we know, teams at the bottom of the table don't mean a thing, really. They are on 19th at the moment on 37 points, having drawn 2, won 2 and lost 1 of their last 5 games. Right, we did say we would check in on the medical centre. Lependa is going to be out for 5 to 10 days. So that's reasonably bad news, but Angumang is back from a pulled groin and could be considered in the squad today. Right, Charlton is up first in the FA Cup 4th round. Can we get through to the 5th round? We've played them twice in this series. We beat them in the EFL Trophy Southern section, Group F, at the Valley. We've never played them at the Bob Lucas to date. A 1-0 win on that occasion. Will Armitage getting the goal after 12 minutes, I'm guessing, from a corner. And then we lost 1-0 to them. Again, Will Armitage. So it's Will Armitage that's the scorer in these games. An own goal on 82 minutes in the game back in November. So, let's go and see if we can get a win against them today as we go and have a look at the side that will face them. And here is the side that faces Charlton at the Valley in the FA Cup 4th round. Yale Virginia is in goal. Armitage, Olsen and G are the defensive line. Linton and Johnson as the complete wing backs. Whittingham and Nzingo are the wide attackers. Palfrey in between them, and Wakachu leading the attack up front. Hollingshead, Garante, Angumang, Holman, Patterson, Byron, Darcy, Candish and Jebison make up the bench. So here we are at the Valley for this one. They're playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder today. We are playing our, by now, regular formation. Won 4 of our last 5, drawn the other one. First highlight comes 11 minutes in. It's a highlight for Charlton from a free kick just inside our half. We forced them back at the minute. Elaroo and Ginty out wide here, trying to win this ball back. And that ball through. Leeburn is in. Leeburn puts it past Yale, Virginia. And on 12 minutes, Leeburn getting his 12th of the season, I think that said. And we are 1-0 down here at the Valley. We've got to come from behind if we're going to get into the 5th round. And who was that left that? Olsen leaving that ball. And Leeburn in, beating Virginia. 26 minutes on the clock. Ginty with a throw, a defensive throw, deep in their half. And they come forward with this ball again. We've not seen any of the ball. They've been a lot better. Linton winning that one, though. Linton goes all the way back to Yale, Virginia. Yale, Virginia to Olsen. Olsen. Nzingo. Nzingo going to go out wide to Johnson. Johnson picks it up, puts it in the area, and Nzingo puts it wide. Opportunities will be few and far between, and we need to be putting them away when we get the chance. Johnson teeing up Nzingo and completely misfired. And half-time has arrived, and we tried to get in on that second half of the first half, but we did manage to get 1 shot on goal. 4 shots, 1 on target, 0.59, 42% of the possession. We need to up the possession, and we need to be hitting the target a bit more as well. They've had 6 shots, 3 on target, 0.63, and 58% of the possession. We've not been good enough in the first half. 58 minutes on the clock. They made 1 change at half time. Buchanan off for Henderson. And they have a goal kick coming out here. We've not made many inroads in the first 15 minutes, but ball given away. O'Grady Macken, and it was a poor ball. I'm not sure who that was out there. Run past it, Whittingham. Deary me. But we've won the ball back. Armitage, O'Grady Macken, back to Armitage. Armitage finds Linton. Linton goes all the way back to Yale, Virginia, who's under pressure. Olsen. Olsen through to Nzingo. Nzingo. What's he going to do with this? He finds Johnson out wide. Johnson cuts it inside O'Grady Macken, who fires it over the top. And with nearly 62 minutes on the clock, we're going to make 2 changes at this juncture and point of time. But Billy G has picked up a groin injury, and we've had to replace him with Jordan Byron in defence. And the other changes that we've made is Glory Nzingo having a poor day out there and tired. He's been replaced by Ronan Darcy. And then on the other side, Matt Whittingham also having a poor day. We've replaced him with Travis Patterson. 64 on the clock, throwing from Whittingham. No changes obviously not yet been made. Linton, Armitage to Olsen. Olsen fires one long, but it's tidied up by Ginty. Maynard. Elware. We're all right as long as we don't concede a second. We concede a second, we're in trouble. But that cut out by O'Grady Macken. Armitage. O'Grady Macken fires one over the top. Wakachu heads it out to Darcy. Changes have been made. Darcy goes out to Linton. Linton. He's creating a bit of space for himself. And yeah, he's chopped it over the top. Creating the chances, but we're not hitting the target, which is the big worry. Linton, plenty of time here, and goes over. 67 on clock. Ashworth with a throw into Oscar Bob. Raneki. Dobson. Ginty. Henderson. Come on, and giving him too much room out there. And Anderson. Dobson. Ashworth has a shot from distance. Come back off the woodwork. Headed clear. and Patterson puts it into touch. And with nearly 69 minutes on the clock, we're making one more change. Wakachoo still can't hit the barn door, and he's been replaced by Daniel Jefferson. And with nearly 83 minutes on the clock, we're making one final change. O'Grady Macken has picked up an injury, and we've had to replace him. He's got a thigh injury, and he has been replaced by Garante, who goes into defence, and Jordan Byron moving into that defensive midfield. O'Grady Macken still on. Armitage. Let's highlight to come in. Linton. Change not yet made. Johnson, can he score? Oh, it's a save this time from Maynard. It was on target, only our second on target all game. And Garante is now on. Linton, this is going to be a short one. It is to Jefferson. Jefferson to crossed in. And it doesn't come to anything. Linton and Johnson, for once, gets it on target. And our run in the FA Cup is over. As you'll see, we didn't have that much of the play. Pretty much Charlton controlled this game here at the Valley. Miles Leeburn giving them the win on 12 minutes. They couldn't score another, albeit they tried. 17 shots, 7 of which were on target, 1.54. We had 8 shots, just 2 on target, 1.15. We were not prolific and didn't have the possession today either to back it up. And, well, we've fallen short on this occasion, but now we can concentrate on promotion in League One. And so our first loss in 18 games. The last time we lost was to Charlton, believe it or not, by a single goal. And we've gone and lost to them by a single goal again today. And that's rather annoying. No losses between when we played them last. We're playing them again at the end of February. Perhaps we can go on a run, at least until the end of February. At least we're not playing them on the last day of the season or anything daft like that. So that's where we are. There has been some games played in League One. Let's go and have a look and see how those fixtures have gone on. Birmingham only managing a draw against Wickham, which means that we have an 8-point lead over them at the top of the table. Oxford United still have a game in hand, but they could only get 61, which means we would have a 9-point lead over them after they beat Leyton Orient, the bottom side, by 3 goals to 2. Notts County are in 4th on 56. They played a game more than everybody else. They beat Rotherham by a goal to 0. We couldn't. Derby County dropped down into 5th. Don't think they played today. And Shrewsbury are in 6th on 50 points. Reading just outside on 48. So the other scores, Carlisle beating Peterborough by a goal to 0. Notts County and Rotherham, as we already know. Stockport beating Chesterfield by 2 goals to 1. Right, that is how it's set. We have a few days, 7 days in fact, down to the game against Lincoln City. A chance to regather ourselves and get ourselves ready for this one. We face Lincoln, currently 19th in the table at the Bob Lucas. They are without Gavin McNulty Cafferty, who's out with torn knee ligaments. And we've played them 3 times in this series, lost to them in a friendly at the Bob Lucas 4-1. Hackett, O'Connor, House and Gallagher, the scorers on that occasion for Lincoln. Then we lost to them in the Caribou Cup first round. I think that was last season, possibly. Goal to 0 on that. Kyle Joseph doing the damage. And then we lost to we beat them last time out back in September in the league. 3-0 win on that occasion. Wakachoo, Lependa and Jefferson, the scorers on that occasion. Similar result today would be rather nice. Let's see if we can do the double over them this season. And one other bit of news before we go on to a match day is that pulled thigh for Grady Macken. He's going to be out for 10 to 13 days, so nothing too major in that one. Leave that to the physio. Billy G, he's going to be out 5 to 6 with the pulled groin. Again, nothing major. They might both miss the next game. That's the only thing. We'll have to wait and see. We'll be back ahead of the game against Lincoln with any more news for you. And you come back just ahead of the match day, and some other games have been played. Lincoln have lost 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Notts County beating Chesterfield 4-0. Ipswich beating Oxford United 3-2. And Shrewsbury drawing with Salford 1-1. And then some more results. Carlisle beating Leyton Orient by 2-0. So Leyton Orient played Lincoln City. Carlisle 2, Leyton Orient 0. Charlton 1, Rotherham 0. Exeter City 1, Walsall 0. Stockport County 1, Mansfield Town 3, which opens an even bigger gap at the bottom there. And Wigan 1, Wickham 0. So the table looks like this going into today's matches. As we see, we are top, 8 points clear of Birmingham in second place. Some 11 points clear of Notts County in third, and they've played 2 more games than us. Oxford United are in fourth on 58. Derby County are fifth on 53. Shrewsbury 6th on 51. Reading are 7th on 48. So we are still those points clear, albeit Reading do have games in hand. There at the bottom, a 7-point gap between Mansfield and Rotherham. 34 and 27 separating them. Burton Albion are in 22nd on 24. Chesterfield 23rd on 21. 13 points adrift of 20th place. And Leyton Orient now must be pretty certain they're going down. They have 17 points on the board, and they are 17 points adrift of Mansfield. They are in a pretty bad way down the bottom there. Our opponents today, Lincoln City, lying in 19th place, 37 points on the board as it stands. And we must hope that we've got a good chance of getting past them again today. That's the plan anyway. They've been a bit of a thorn in our side previously. Harley O'Grady Mackin is doubtful with a pulled thigh. We have one player in on trial. They are without Gavin McNulty Cafferty, who's got torn knee ligaments. Let's have a look at the side that will face Lincoln City in this League One match day 32. And here is the side that faces Lincoln in this League One match day 32. Virginia is in goal. Armitage, G and Olsen, the defensive line. Linton and Johnson, the wide complete wing backs. Byron is sat between them due to the injury to Harley O'Grady Mackin. And that's Byron getting the start. Patterson is on the left, Darcy on the right, Nzingo is between them. Wakachu gets the nod up front, albeit he didn't fire on all cylinders last time. And I am tempted, to be fair, to give Jefferson the start. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Give Jefferson the start up front, and then on the bench it's Hollingshead, Garante, Lependa, Holman, Peters, Palfrey and Wakachu. And here we are back at the Bob Lucas, playing our usual formation. Lincoln City. They are playing a 4-3-3 with defensive midfielder. Frank Lampard is their manager, interestingly. Table looks like this. We are top on 70 points. Lincoln 19th on 37 points. And first highlight, 16 minutes in, Long with a long ball forward, but it's tidied up in defence by Armitage. Armitage. Back to Yale, Virginia. Olsen. As we look to come forward. Johnson try and get back on winning ways. Byron to Nzingo. Patterson lets that on for Linton. Linton cuts inside. Linton finds Johnson on the far side. Johnson tucks it away. Near post. And his 5th goal of the season. And we've scored first time for a while. And on 18 minutes take a 1-goal lead. Linton cut well inside. Johnson was free. And Johnson drove that one past long. And we obviously are a little bit, something's going wrong here. Daniel Jefferson picking up a foot injury on the 32 minutes. And the only change that we can make is we bring on Wakachu in place of Jefferson. And it's Wakachu that's been scoring the goals. Oh well, it's to be Wakachu on then in place of the injured Jefferson. Let's hope the injury isn't too bad. And with 3 minutes of added time on at the end of that first half, due to the injury, we have a 1-goal lead, 7 shots, 4 on target, 0.52, 37% of the possession. I want more possession in the second half. They've had 2 shots, both on target today, and 63% of the possession. They're not a pushover. With 49 on the clock, first highlight of the second half. They made 1 change at half-time. Johnson with the ball into Darcy. Darcy now. Can we get a second here? Byron is bobbling around. Ooh, goalkeeper makes a save. I don't think he knew too much about that. It was bobbling around and, well, Linton with this corner swung in. It's headed back out, but not convincingly. Wakachu to Linton. Drives it back in. It's another corner. Linton with the corner then, an in-swinger again. This one deep, and Armitage couldn't get his head to it. It's gone out to Patterson. Patterson round his man, cross it deep, looking for Darcy. But the highlight has finished, and nothing comes of it. Darcy doing the work here, fires this one in, and Byron come off the defender. Kovac, Patterson couldn't get to it. Nzingo firing it at the goalkeeper making a point-blank save. And with 65 on the clock, making 2 changes, Ronan Darcy has picked up an injury as well, a foot injury. He's come off. We've replaced him with Carnal Palfrey. And the other change that we have made at this juncture in time, Billy G, not having a good day out there, coming back from injury. We don't want to push him too much, especially with other injuries happening as well. Garante comes on to replace him. 67 on the clock. They have a free kick, Watkins. And let's hope we're not going to get punished by not getting more chances scored. Oh, they're in. Olsen brings down his man, but it's okay. Woodburn is in. Woodburn puts it away. 2nd goal of the season. And they have equalised on 69 minutes. Griffiths is injured. I think Olsen, the referee, not giving anything. And we'll see it here. Griffiths, it was Olsen that brought him down. And Woodburn gets in. Beats Yale Virginia. Question of whether he was offside or not. Ooh, it's questionable. I think he probably was, actually. Shouldn't have stood. 74 on the clock. Olsen with a free kick to Yale Virginia. Armitage. Byron to Patterson, back to Olsen. As we come forward, we've gone a bit more attacking now. We'll need to try and get this win. Johnson crossed this in, and it's put away by Wakachu. 18th goal of the season, and we haven't seen that for a while. And that's exactly, Wakachu just loves those on a plate. He'll put them away for a pastime, and we restore our lead on 76 minutes. Johnson coming forward, ball into the area. Wakachu just pops it away. And with 80 minutes on the clock, making our final 2 changes, Josiah Linton has come off. We've replaced him with Amika Peters, who goes into the wide attacking player. Patterson dropping back, and the final change that we've made is on the right-hand side. We've taken Nzingo off. Moved Palfrey into the middle. Johnson moves forward. Holman comes on at the back. And they are our 5 changes. Well, it hasn't been plain sailing, but we have beaten Lincoln by 2-1. Carl Johnson on 18 minutes. They equalised on 69. Wakachu getting the winner on 76. Carl Johnson with a player of the match, 4 key passes, 1 clear-cut chance, 1 assist and a goal. He's had a good day out there. So have a number of other players. 16 shots, 9 on target, 2.35 and 40% of the possession. We should have had more possession. They had 4 shots, 4 of which were on target, 0.61 and 60% of the possession. That's how today has ended. Let's go and have a look how the table looks after today's matches. And we start with some bad news. Jefferson is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. It says 3 to 6 weeks, but 3 to 4 on here. And we're going to have to leave that to the physio. That's not good news. It says 3 to 4 on there now. Ronan Darcy is only going to be out for 2 or 3 days. Just a bruised ankle for him. So that's good news. If ever there was, albeit he may not be able to play in the game against Burton Albion, which is a little bit of a disappointment. And so to the results, and we are still on top, 8 points clear of Birmingham, who are in second place on 65 points. They managed a 1-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday today. Notts County, 2 games still played, more than everybody else. They are in third place on 60 points, a 0-0 draw with Ipswich Town today. Oxford United are in fourth on 58 points. Oxford, down the bottom, they lost 1-0 to Wickham. Shrewsbury are in fifth on 54 points. They are 5-3 winners over Mansfield, and Derby County are in sixth on 53 points. They were 1-0 losers to Reading, who are in seventh place. They've closed the gap on Derby now. Wickham right behind them, also on 51, but separated on goal difference, and quite a goal difference as well. Just 4 points adrift now. Rotherham closed the gap. Mansfield losing. Rotherham won 4-2 against Stockport. There's a 3-point gap then down to Burton Albion. Who we play next, and fighting for their lives down the bottom table. And it's always a worry when that happens. Beat Salford by 2-1. Chesterfield 6 points adrift of Burton. They lost. I think we mentioned them just now, didn't we? Chesterfield lost 3-0 to Exeter City on Leyton Orient. Down the bottom, they are 14 points adrift of safety from Mansfield. In fact, Leyton Orient actually winning today, beating Wigan by 2-1. That's how it all looks at the end of this episode. We're going to play Burton Albion and Reading offline. We're going to come back for Derby County, currently in 6th place, Stockport County in 13th in the next episode, as really it's only league football left to play for. So that's what's rocking up as it is at the moment, as we head headlong towards the end of the season. Derby and Stockport in the next episode. I hope you join me for that one. If you've enjoyed today's episode, though, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of this particular series, Bottom to the Top, and our other series, Go in Dutch, as they are released. New episodes of Bottom to the Top, released every Tuesday and Friday, 4:15 p.m. Best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is follow me on X at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 98. It's out on Tuesday. Until then, have yourselves a great weekend. See you next week. Bye-bye.